Hello, good afternoon. We've been doing some read alouds, and today we're going to be doing the read aloud called Exploring Leaves. And this is by the same author as the other three that I have posted up by Kristin Sterling. So let's get started with this reading. I see leaves. Leaves are part of a plant. And this is exactly what we've been talking about. We've been talking about parts of a plant. And we know that leaves is a part of a plant. And as you could see the picture, you still see the roots. We see soil. We see the seed. We start to see a little bit of a life cycle, the seedling. Then we start to see the plant. We have the stem. We have leaves, seedling, right? The seed, they're all right here. And then we have the flower buds. Let's continue. So it says each plant part has a job. Plants need leaves to grow. So I wonder why plants need leaves to grow. What important job might a leaf have? It's a good question. Let's see. Leaves grow on the stems. Stems hold leaves up to the sun. And that's what we read in the other book, Stems, right? Exploring Stems. Stems bring water from the soil to the leaves. Leaves use sunlight, water, and air to make the food. So that's why leaves have a very important job to the plant, right? Because they're using the stems, which is bringing and sucking in all that water from the soil, bringing them to the leaves, so that way the leaves can then use the sunlight, right? The sun, the water, and the air, so that way it could start producing, right? Making food for the plant, because the plant needs food in order for it to keep growing and growing and growing. Just like you and me, we need water, we need air, and we need food and all of these things in order for us to keep growing and growing and growing, right? So that's the same thing with our plants. Some leaves change colors in the fall. Ooh, I remember when we did in the fall, we were doing our unit of leaves, right? So the leaves change colors. And then we start to see that all the leaves start to fall from all of the trees, right? And as you can see in the picture, we have leaves that are turning, or they're turning orange, they're turning yellow, sometimes they'll turn a little bit reddish, they'll turn brown after a while. So these are the different kinds of leaves. And then we did notice that in the fall, there were some leaves that still stayed green, right? So just like the book says, some leaves stay green all year. So they don't change, their leaves don't fall, and their leaves are not changing color, okay? And I remember when we went outside for our outdoor walks, our nature walks, we used to see and we used to point out to all the trees that had different colored leaves, and then all the trees that were green, right? When all of the branches were bare, we saw some trees that were green all the time, and none of their leaves had fallen off. So that's exactly what it's saying right here. Some plants have small leaves. Some plants have big leaves. Just like that, we have, look, little clover has tiny leaves. And then we see the little lily pads right here. They're big plants. They're big leaves. Pine trees have leaves like sharp needles. Ooh. Ginkgo plants have leaves shaped like fans. And we used to see a lot of these at school in our playground. We used to see a lot of ginkgo leaves, that they're shaped like that, like a little fan. Leaves are all around you. Do you see leaves? Do we see leaves now? Yes, we do. We see leaves on our trees now, right? They're all green. And even some of our trees are starting to have some little blossoms, right? They have blossoms, flowers. There's a lot of colors now. All kinds of leaves. So we have leaves with one blade, leaves with more than one blade. We have leaves that change color, leaves that stay green, big leaves and small leaves, okay? Now there's some interesting facts about leaves. People need green leafy plants to live. Many families rake leaves in the fall. Kids play in the piles, and I'm pretty sure you guys know about this one because we used to go outside to the playground in the fall time. We used to gather all the leaves together and then we would jump on them, right? And this was everybody's favorite activity to do. We would also collect these leaves and we would bring them back into the classroom and do some arts and crafts with them. People eat some kinds of leaves. Yep, and that's exactly what we started this week with our lesson on what parts of the plants do we eat? So we eat leaves from our plants. We don't eat all the plants. We can't eat all the plant parts because some of them are not safe. There's some plant parts that are safe enough for us to eat. So for example, like spinach, those are leaves, right? Lettuce, those are leaves too, and cabbage. So the cabbage, those are leaves. Okay, so those are leaves that we are eating from the plant. It also is telling us, don't touch a poison ivy plant. The oil can cause an itchy rash and blisters. The rule, leaves of 3, let it be. Okay? Koala bears love eating the leaves on the tree. A maple leaf is on a flag of Canada. Gel from the leaves of aloe vera plants can be used to heal small cuts and burns. Mint leaves and basil leaves smell wonderful and can be used in recipes. So there's a lot of things that we use, right? So there's certain leaves that we also use to cook for our cooking, and we're eating them. Let's see. And then we have our glossary. Leaves is the green part of a plant that make food. Needles, the long thin leaves of a pine tree. Soil is the dirt in which plants grow. And then as we know, stem is the part of the plant that holds up the plant. All right, and that's the end of our book. The end. Next, we're going to be reading Exploring Flowers. So stay tuned for that.